In a modern game, football clubs are no longer just community institutions. They are assets. And no one has embraced this cold, hard reality more aggressively than BlueCo, the ownership group led by Todd Boehly and Clear Lake Capital. When BlueCo added France's RC Strasbourg Alsace to their portfolio alongside Chelsea FC, the pitch was simple, a synergy that would provide Strasbourg with a lead investment and Chelsea with a pathway for talent. But as we sit in 2026, the experiment is fracturing. This isn't just a story of bad results. It is a story of how the multi-club ownership model is failing the very people who make football worth owning. The primary goal of the multi-club model is the vertical integration of talent. In theory, a young player from South America is signed by Chelsea, loaned to Strasbourg to adapt to European football, and eventually return to London as a finished product. However, for Strasbourg, this has turned the club into a parking lot. Under BlueCo, the recruitment strategy shifted almost exclusively to players under the age of 23. By stripping the squad of veteran leadership in favor of Chelsea's raw assets, the soul of the team was compromised. The fans in Alsace aren't watching a team compete for the Europa League anymore. They're watching a developmental 11 perform an extended training session for a parent company 600 miles away. The fundamental failure of the Chelsea-Strasbourg link is the ceiling of ambition. In a true sporting competition, every club dreams of reaching the top. But in a multi-club system, there is a clear hierarchy. When BlueCo recalls a star performer like Andre Santos or Caleb Wiley, just as they find their form, it creates a revolving door effect. The moment a player becomes good enough to help Strasbourg win, they're deemed too valuable to stay there. This creates a psychological rift. Players begin to see Strasbourg as a transit lounge, and managers realize that their tactical plans can be dismantled by a phone call from London at any moment. Success at Strasbourg is now actively punished by the removal of the very tools that achieved it. You cannot quantify identity on a spreadsheet, and that is where the BlueCo leadership miscalculated. Strasbourg is one of the best supported clubs in France, with a fierce, loyal fan base. The protests have been relentless. From BlueCo out banners to coordinated silences during matches, the supporters have made it clear they would rather be a cell phone club in the second division than a B team in the first. The failure here is cultural. By treating a 120-year-old club as a satellite office for Chelsea, the owners have alienated the one group of people whose passion gives the asset its value. The failure isn't limited to France. At Chelsea, the multi-club system hasn't solved the problem of a bloated squad. Instead, it has created a logistical nightmare. The London club currently has dozens of players on the books, scattered across Europe. This hoarding of talent has led to financial scrutiny and a lack of squad cohesion. Instead of a streamlined pathway, it has become a bottleneck. The synergy promised in 2023 has resulted in two clubs that both feel like they are in a permanent state of transition, with neither finding the stability required to challenge at the highest level. The multi-club system at Chelsea and Strasbourg is failing because it forgets that football is a meritocracy, not a monopoly. When fans feel their club has lost its agency, and when players feel they're being traded like stocks rather than athletes, the system begins to rot from the inside. BlueCo may have the capital, but in the stadiums of London and Alsace, it's becoming clear that you cannot run a football club like a venture capital portfolio. Because in this game, if the fans don't believe in the project, there is no project.